Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome to another illustrious episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Today is Tuesday, April the 9th, and it's episode 12 of Season 2. Thanks for joining us again, you guys. In today's Nerd News Update, we have more information on Nipsey Hussle's murderer, plus we got news on Kodak Black and Lil Boosie, and neither of them are good. Today's digital download is packed full of video games for you guys to enjoy. Plus, we're gonna slide on into today's topic, which is an exploration of the Disney movies, the secret connections between them, and the myths surrounding them. So tune in, nerd out, to today's episode of Urban Nerd Weekly.
Hey, it's your boy Spaceship, man. I got a new podcast out I want y'all to subscribe to, bro. It's called Urban Nerd Weekly, available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play Music. My
back up in the shit. I just like some couple beats. I'm about to hit the stick, so go and follow me on Twitch. Now watch me crank that herb. Now watch me crank that herb. Watch me crank that herb. Now watch me crank that herb.
Yeah! Ooh, what's happening? What's trending, guys? It's your boy Space. Thanks for joining me once again on today's episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. Like I said, man, let's go and get it straight into business. On today's Nerd News Update, we have more information on Nipsey Hussle's killer. Once again, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. If you guys didn't get a chance to listen to the episode I did last week, I did a very special, extra long episode of Urban Nerd Weekly last week to pay homage and tribute to the late great king, Nipsey Hussle. So, on extending past that information, we over the course of the last week, we've gotten more information on his murderer. His murderer goes by the name of Eric Holder, and apparently he was a wannabe, trying to be, wishing he coulda woulda been rapper who also happened to have known Nipsey from a point in their past. They were both, rolling 60s Crips, and I think at some point, this is just the alleged story that I've got, that at some point, they rolled together, and, after Nipsey ascended in the rap game, he was one of the friends that was still on the front lines, and apparently in Nipsey's absence, this guy apparently turned to a snitch, and then once that happened, he was no longer allowed to be where he is, because that's how the streets work. If you're down with the gang and then you snitch, you should probably get out of Dodge, because we're gonna kill you. So he was on, I guess he was out, he's trying to get away, and then I guess he thought that maybe, he could go and talk to Nipsey, but Nipsey is still plugged into these streets. Well, I'm sorry, grammatic error. Nipsey was still plugged into these streets, and he already knew that the guy had been a snitch. He had already been a cooperative with police and such, so he brought that up. Allegedly, he brought it up to the guy, and the guy didn't like the way that, he brought it up to the guy and asked, and the guy didn't confirm or deny, and then he was like, he politely asked him to please, remove himself from the premises, considering that he was the business owner and the proprietor of that particular piece of area, you know what I mean? He could get to tell people, hey, shoo, get away, yeah. And he was being nice about it, allegedly. He asked the man to calmly leave, and I guess the man took it a different way and came back and did what he did. Now, after this, he was on the run now from the police and from, the rolling 60s Crips who he snitched on already, and plus now everybody who ever loved Nipsey Hussle for 5 minutes wants this guy to go down. Alright, so what's happening next is, over the course of the week, his mom's house gets shot up, his baby's mom's gets shot up, a lot of family members' houses get shot up. People are looking for this guy, and, even though it is alleged that he got on to Instagram Live and confessed to the murder, which is how it was how it was so easy to find him, and now turns out, there was at some point he tried to check himself into a mental health institution, and upon checking himself in, someone recognized him from all the pictures of him on the media and the screen grabs of the Instagram Live that he did when he joined another person and all that, and now he has been arrested at the front door of the mental health facility, and a lot of people are in uproar because, they kind of feel like he's going to try to use the whole mental defect thing, or try to claim it. Basically, going to try to claim me crazy so he can, so he can avoid some jail time, which I don't think anyone's going to let that bullshit fly at all. But that is that. I don't want to dwell too much on that. I'm one of those people. I don't want to glorify the criminal. Let's let's just remember who the person was that took the L in this incident. Because I can't even with full confidence call Nipsey Hussle a victim. No, this man was a warrior. That was a respectable, there was a lot of questionable shit about, how things went down. Because after I did the very special episode last week, I kind of looked online and, I saw some of the video of what went down that day, and things just don't add up to me. But I'm not gonna get into that right now. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let that situation breathe. And matter of fact, we're gonna move on to our next piece of nerd news update, which is kind of fucked up that this is what I gotta segue into, because it's still kind of related to the story. Like your boy Kodak Black, like he does. I mean, he just got through getting shitted on for trolling Young M.A. And if you guys don't know who Young M.A. is, she is a female rapper who has self-identified as an openly gay woman. She is definitely a stud. You know what I'm saying? Her song Ooh was definitely about getting and retaining bitches. So she's definitely all the way gay. And Kodak Black just decided he wanted to, I don't know if he was just trolling or whatever the case may have been, but he definitely decided that he was going to try to quote unquote holla at Young M.A., which I don't understand why he would want to do, considering that she is openly, like I just said. But anyway, that was the last piece of news. Recently, I went off on a tangent there. Recently, your boy Kodak Black decided to get on, the internets and start talking while he was slizzard. And a lot of people want to blame it on the drugs, but look, man, I went to college. I've been fucked up before, okay? That ain't the kind of shit that it makes you say. Not unless you're already that fucked up of a person on the inside. Anyway, which I'm not passing judgment. However, Kodak Black is in the news primarily because very, very shortly, I mean days after Nipsey Hussle's untimely demise, he was on Instagram Live and talking about how, Lauren London about to be a whole widow out here, and that how he trying to holler at her, and this, that, and the third, just a bunch of disrespectful stuff about a man's wife who this man just passed days ago. So, and it is Kodak, so he's known for trolling. But however, this is one of the things you went a little too far, buddy. Like you're showing no respect. Like I'm not a street nigga, but what I do know about street niggas is they would take that respect shit is real shit. And what you just did, sir, was not respectable. And of course, there was backlash. Rappers like T.I., The Game, and Gilly the Kid all, were definitely verbal about how they felt about how his comments. My man T.I. definitely told him to fix that shit expeditiously. And I agree. You need to fix that shit, buddy. And the Game also had some words because the Game ain't playing that shit. YG in the Game, I don't know if y'all know this, but even though Crips and Bloods, they had a history, YG, the Game, and Nipsey Hussle was all very, very tight. And if you recall, if you were on the internet that day when Nipsey passed, the Game was in his car just driving down the street crying. You could hear the pain in his voice, dog. So you already know he ain't taking this shit. And so he definitely was verbal about how he felt about Kodak's comments. And so was Gilly the Kid. And then in response, I just gotta, I'm sorry, but I gotta point out the fact that I just named a list of at least 3 people, and there were a lot more who had comments, but these were some of the more vocal and more viral responses were Game, Gilly the Kid, and the King T.I. He only chose to respond to T.I. personally, which I thought was kind of a bitch move, because you doing that shit to the nigga got the most papers on him right now. He can't do all the shit that like when T.I. was Kodak's age, he would have handled this situation totally different than he does, at the age that he is now with the criminal history and the background that he has. I thought it was a little pussy for him to go after him knowing that shit. And then he also, he hopped on his Instagram and responded or what, and then he also actually posted a response video talking about how he's not pulling any punches, and he feels like everybody's misconstruing what he's saying. And so after all that, you know, I'm sure, you know, T.I. heard about everything that was going on. So he has removed, effectively, immediately, he has removed Kodak Black's exhibition in the Trap Music Museum. Now, it's gone. Like, there's video of them removing it piece by piece. And, you know, that's just what that is now. Now, subsequently after that, Kodak has released an apology video. But if you actually look at the video, it doesn't really seem like a real apology. It seems like one of those little apologies that little kids give when their mom tells them to apologize. Like, I feel like his manager and his publicist just kind of ganged up on him and forced him to apologize. Like, you could tell the people in Kodak's camp don't support what he's saying. Like, even in the video where he's making the comments about Lauren and Nipsey, he has a homeboy in the video saying, "Hey man, too soon. Like, you should listen to that nigga. Like, when a light-skinned nigga tell you some shit is too soon, bruh, shit's probably too fucking soon, bro. I'm sorry." But that is what it is, you know. Moving on to the next story today. Lil Boosie. Okay, so I'm a Boosie fan, right? Like, I'm with a lot of the Boosie fans right now. I don't think any of us knew he had a fucking album coming out last week. Like, if you listen to any of my Nerd News updates, I don't recall saying that Boosie had an album coming out last week. Did I say that? I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't. It would have been a week ago today. You know, most albums coming out, you know, around that time of the month. I mean, the week is like the earlier part of the week and shit. Yeah, I don't remember him having an album coming out. And if I said it, or if I knew and I didn't say anything, I'm so sorry. However, it's been reported that his first week sales are extremely low. I mean, really low. I mean, like 300 copies low. Like, that's how many albums like I would expect to sell if I released an album with like 300 copies, which is why I wouldn't release an album. However, this is Lil Boosie. These are, you know, that's a really, really low number for a guy like Boosie. And he was definitely vocal about it. He got on because he made a really good point. He was like, how the fuck do I have the #1 Instagram live in the country? Because he did a response video after the low record sales, and he was pissed. I would be too. He was on Instagram live with well over thousands of viewers watching him rant and rave, and he was literally going off on fans trying to kick him off his Instagram live, because he was like, how y'all gonna come on my Instagram live every day, watch me cut the food, y'all don't want to pay like $9 to buy my album? Like, first of all, Boosie, okay, I hate it as much as you do, because I'm a kid from the 90s who dreamt of growing up one day and doing like my own comedy album and then seeing the record sales. Nobody's buying albums anymore, Boots. You gotta get them to stream the shit, first of all. That's why the sales are lower. You're probably looking at the wrong numbers anyway, because I just refuse to believe that you only sold 300 copies of anything. And as much as niggas was screaming free Boosie when you got out of jail, or before you got out of jail, I just refuse to believe that that's the only amount of people that wanted to buy your album. Now, or listen to your album, or stream your album, or do whatever with the album. However, he was very pissed, went off on fans. And in a completely unrelated story, about 6 hours later, Lil Boosie was arrested in Coweta County in Newton, Georgia. Reportedly, he was swerving between lanes and he was pulled over. And when he was pulled over, the car was searched and they found weed, some vape pens, allegedly containing cannabis oil, as well as large amounts of, like, suspiciously large amounts of money. And I literally just got through talking about how it was all like free Boosie and shit. And then now, this is the shit that's happening. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like you really just got out? Like, you just got out of jail a couple years ago, bro? You done beat cancer and shit, and now you getting caught. And first of all, you shouldn't have been in Noonan. You should not have been in Noonan. I can tell you right now, I don't do shit in Noonan, okay? I mean, if you ain't from there, you shouldn't do shit there. Same thing that happened when Soulja Boy got arrested in Temple and shit. I was like, cause I lived in Villa Rica at the time, and so that shit was like right around the corner. Like, I was like, you should not have been a famous nigga in these country woods, nigga. They love taking y'all to jail out here and shit. Y'all better be careful out here, man. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on now with Boosie, but he was definitely picked up with He was definitely picked up with a former NFL player. I can't remember. I think his name was Allen. I'll look it up later and tell y'all shit on Twitter. But he got picked up with an ex-NFL player and pretended he was his bodyguard, and then that motherfucker got sent to jail too. So, as odd of anything that was today's Nerd News Update today. I'd like to take a second to go ahead and remind you guys to follow me on the big three social media sites. That is Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All at Space Was Here. SPAYCEWUZHERE. If you want to get in contact with me anytime, you know what I mean, drop a line, leave me, shoot me a post, leave me a comment. I'm also open to people who because for whatever reason, I attract people. I guess because I'm a comedian, people love to send me memes and shit. So if y'all you want to send me memes or whatever, just follow me on Twitter, either one of those, and y'all can just send me memes and shit, and I'll just repost them. And I give everybody credit and everything, but it fascinates me how me being a comedian makes other people want to make me laugh. That's pretty fucking awesome. So make sure you guys hit me up, follow me on there. That way you can get all the kind of updates on your boy and the show. Thank you very much. On to today's digital download. As usual, as you guys can kind of notice on most Tuesdays, we don't have a whole lot in the digital download except for in the gaming section, because there's always fucking games dropping, which I love. So first things first, we got Shovel Knight Showdown, which drops today on PC, Mac, Linux, PC, Wii, Switch, and Xbox One. Did I say PlayStation 4? I meant to say that too. Yeah. We also got Dangerous Living on PlayStation 4, Xbox One. We got Neo Atlas 1469 also dropping today, only available on Switch. We got Ace Attorney, the trilogy, which came out also today. All these games came out today, so it's already available wherever y'all trying to get them. Ace Attorney Trilogy available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. And Zenko Zero, The Lost Beginning on PlayStation 4 and available on PC as well. Now, that was today's digital download. Not a whole lot going on, but it's a couple of video games being dropped today. So if you guys are fans of this franchise, or you have this video game or anything of that nature, and you want to let me know how the experience of the game is, please feel free to drop me a line on any of the social media. I just let you guys in on, I just recite it to you guys, the Twitter, Instagrams, and the Facebook. Plus, also, I'd like to give you guys a reminder about spacewashere.com. That's my website. You guys can hop on there and, join the newsletter. That way every time I get a blog post, you'll get it straight in your email. You won't have to constantly be coming to check out the site and stuff. And every time I got new content coming, I create a new blog post just for it, so you guys can continuously get updates. Plus, whenever I have exclusive shit, I'll have your email and I can send it to you in the email directly. That way you guys get stuff that sometimes in the future I'm going to be having certain shit I release a special way, and the people that I have on my email list will be the only ones that get the advance, notification, advance copies. You guys get to check out my music, my comedy music, and some of my other shit that I got coming out before everybody else do. And that's how you become one of the cool kids, because that is what we call the in crowd, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so last episode's question of the day: what do you play music-wise while gaming? Now, I really just asked that because, there are certain genres that just go perfectly with certain shit. I'm sorry, but fighting games, heavy metal music is amazing for shit like Mortal Kombat and Tekken. I love hip-hop music for sports games like Madden and NFL Live and shit like that. But my absolute favorite is to listen to I know it sounds crazy, but whenever you play those adventure games where it's a one person and you're just kind of going through the world or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I love playing smoker music. Even if I'm not smoking, and when I say, cause smoker music is its own genre, people, I'm gonna convince y'all of that before 2019 ends. I love to listen to that laid back, cool shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just hip hop, that rock and roll that's really smooth. I love listening to shit like that song "Free Falling" by Tom Petty when I'm in a really complicated adventure game and shit, because it's just me against this made up world and all that good stuff. But I definitely gotta say that aggressive EDM EDM music, crunk, turned up hip hop, like death metal, rock and roll and shit. That's the best shit to listen to when you playing a really intense versus game or some shit shit like that, like Tekken, like I said, Mortal Kombat, da-da-da-da-da. So, I asked that question on the end of the last episode, and overwhelmingly, and I only think this is just kind of a thing that's because it's the generation and it kind of is, but I assumed I was really going to get more rock and roll, but I got a lot more, like, EDM house music shit for people who like binge game a lot. They like that. I guess the whole sound of the digital thing, the digital sound of EDM music just kind of goes along with the whole you're playing a digital video game or whatever. But that was the response I got the most. On to today's topic of discussion. It is okay. So I'm sure y'all guys have seen all those little videos on YouTube and shit where people are talking about like how there's like little secret connections and all of like the Disney movies or whatever. Like I'm gonna post a link. I'm gonna make sure I post a link. Like when I do the blog post for this episode, I'm gonna post a link in there so I can make sure y'all see the specific video I saw that made me, because it's kind of what inspired today's episode. I saw it like a couple of months back and I was thinking about it like on the way home from work one day. But I think it's crazy how dead-ass accurate that shit is, and not to mention, some of that's probably true. Like, okay, here's one myth that I've been hearing since I was a kid. Like, if you look at, like, the cover of the Little Mermaid, like, VHS cover and shit, there's, like, penises all over the fucking castle and shit, right? And then, here's a true one. This is something I was told when I was in high school, and I tried to find it then, but I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it till I was an adult. And I realized that the chick that told me that was totally fucking right. But the word sex was definitely spelled out by the stars in the movie The Lion King. And also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I didn't even know was like a Disney movie until I got a little older. But you know, Jessica Rabbit was showing a little snooch in that movie. So yeah, man, first off, because there's two different things that I'm trying to talk about here. There's the secret, the little secret little Easter eggs that are in the movies, and because a lot of the movies before like, you know, like 95 were the ones that had all the little kind of inappropriate things in them. But then all the ones like after 95, like after pretty much like Tarzan and Toy Story and shit, everything after that point, there's supposed to be some type of secret interconnection between all of them that is called the Pixar theory. And that is, you know, that's basically just that every Pixar Disney movie that has come out is all a part of the same universe. You know, they're basically trying to turn Disney into like, just like how the comic books are, like all of DC happens in, you know, the DC universe and multiple, and they each have multiverses too, as well as MCU, the Marvel comics or whatever. But I think that's the difference between, you know, Disney and everything else, is that all of their movies are supposed to take place in the exact same universe, and somehow they're all like interconnected and they're supposed to tell a grander story in the end. But who the hell knows when all the fucking I'd shudder to see the day when Disney goes, okay, this is the last movie, you guys, this is the one that's the last piece to the puzzle. But what I'm saying is all of them are supposedly, you know, part of the same universe. And there's supposed to be some kind of crazy ass way where you can put them all in order to figure out like at what point all of the things happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they talk about like one of the more popular Pixar theories is that, you know, everything like starts with Brave and kind of ends with Brave at the same time, is because the old witch in the movie Brave supposedly is supposed to be the little girl Boo from Monsters Inc. or whatever. And they're basically saying that, you know, because she learned how to manipulate magic and, you know, technology as well. So because she was privy to all that as a kid, they said that she spent her whole life trying to chase Sully, figure out who he was and find him, because she had this vague memory in childhood, but it wasn't solid enough to like give her insight into what exactly to do. But there's like a whole bunch of shit that's mentioned in the movie. Like there's a one point I mean, not in the movie, but in the Pixar theory, there's even a huge point in which a lot of the Pixar theories make is that there's kind of this power struggle between like humans, animals, and like artificially intelligent technology or whatever. And then there's like supposed to be like this element of magic that's just kind of splashed into everything, but nobody really explains, like, you know, that's one of the things that I was kind of looking for. Nobody really explained the origin of the magic. You know what I mean? Like, was that a part of one of the movies and I missed it or some shit? I don't know. But I do know that there is like so much, like, first of all, today's like nerd news update kind of sucked up a lot of the episode. Important. So what we'll have to do is definitely come back to this issue on a later episode of Urban Nerd Weekly. For now, guys, I gotta take my leave out of here, man. I gotta dip. I will see you guys, well, not see you guys. You know what I mean. We'll see each other next episode, but not before I hit you guys with the question of the day, which is, especially to all my 90s kids growing up, which one did you like more, i.e., which one did you consider better out of the three major cartoon networks, that being Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon? I'll tell you guys my answer on the next episode, but for now, my name is Space Was Here. See, cause I was here, but now I'm